What's up, guys, and welcome back to another video. Hope you're all doing well today. You might be wondering, Linz, why are you so high up in the air? Well, this looks like a very unusual cockpit FOV. I'm on stilts. That's why we're up in the air. Today, we are going to be riding this absolute abomination released by... well, it's basically the OTTM pit bikes on stilts, inspired by Seaboys TV. I'm going to be doing two things today that I actually have no previous knowledge of, that I think some of you would get some enjoyment out of instead. So, first of all, we're going to be riding this bike. A lot of you boys that watch my videos, I know you watch Seaboys. I'm not too familiar with their videos. However, when I go and look at their analytics, it shows me YouTube channels that you guys also watch. Seaboys is always up there all the time. So not a lot of you will probably be able to appreciate this absolute abomination that we're going to be riding. And then secondly, this track right here is called the Mining Spot. I'm not sure if it's meant to be pronounced the Mining Spot, but it's created by Danny Alves, and it's just released on the shop, I think, yesterday. Of course, I've been away for the weekend, so wasn't able to do it the day it came out. However, this track is very heavily inspired by the film Charlie's Angels. There is a track there where people just go and meet up under this lovely bridge right here and do a little bit of riding. This part here, so this side of the map, is the track itself from the film, and this side is just a little bit of extra that Danny's decided to add on for us. I would like to put a little disclaimer out there and apologise way in advance that I'm sure you can imagine this thing might have a little bit of a difficult time going around some of this. If that is the case, and it's going absolutely horrifically, I'll switch over to a 450 or something instead to try and do the track a little bit of justice. But yeah, just bear in mind, just take it with a pinch of salt. You know, it might not be perfect, but I thought I'd try and combine two new things today just to show you guys what it's all about. So let's try and have some fun.
For all of you passionate gamers, you can now get 20% off all G Fuel products worldwide by using code LINZ at checkout. And for any of you motorheads looking for some new drip or apparel, use code MXPR_LINZ15 fxrracing.eu to get 15% off. All links and codes are in the description down below. Enjoy the video and drop a cheeky little like and subscribe.
Now, I was contemplating riding this bike on the track that I made for the OTM 110 bikes. However, it turns out that that's not the best of starts. It turns out that 2Killer, who is the person who made these bikes, he actually has released it with less power. Apparently people were complaining about the power of them, saying that the 110 had too much, which is kind of annoying because it basically puts my previous track in the bin for the most part, as it was made for that amount of power. But you can still ride it on 125, etc. So absolutely fine. I think we're going to have a big issue getting over some of these jumps. I'll do a lap or two and see where we end up. After that, I have a feeling I might have to switch back because I don't really want to do Danny's track that dirty, if you know what I mean. I don't know if this bike's really meant for jumping too much. Oh, God. I'm going to hit my head on the over-under. Jesus, it's like the wheels aren't actually fully where they are. That's how it feels. It feels like, oh, my God. I mean, to be fair, it soaks up the wheels very nicely. I don't think I'll be skimming them anytime soon. Oh, is that... Oh, no! Okay, hear me out. Third person, I think, might be easier. It actually really helps seeing where my wheels are at any given point. I have to absolutely yank back on the sticks every time I leave the ground so hard. Just to make sure I don't go over the bars because of where the rear wheels place. It's like so much further extended out than usual on the rider. I can't see myself getting over any of these jumps clean, boys. Oh my God. Okay, this is not going to plan. I thought I'd be able to ride a little bit better than I am right now, but this is so hard. It's ridiculous. Okay, no, scrap this. We're going on a normal bike. Danny, I'm sorry. I want to do your track justice. Bear with me. Yeah, I'm so sorry, boys. I had no idea what part of my brain decided that was going to ever be a good idea. So let's hop on to the trusty steed today. You know, now that we can probably actually do some laps without wadding myself all the time, let me have a little talk. There's been no videos for the last 2 days. If you pay attention to the gram, then you'll know exactly why that is. If you don't pay attention to the gram, then go and follow me at LinzMX. On Saturday, the AJP Racing boys were very lovely. and they invited myself and Charlie to Wembley Arena Cross. It was an incredibly fun time. We got to be kind of behind the scenes in the pits, going on the track in the morning, having a little track walk, just kind of getting to watch the racing from the start gate as well if we wanted to, although I preferred going up in the stands anyway, just so you can see a little bit more. It was very, very nice being within touching distance of people like Bogle, etc. Didn't speak to him, but it's nice being, you know, you get like that kind of aura around very fast riders, don't you? And it was really nice to see. A lot of firsts for me. So I've never been on ground level on a Supercross style track. I know Arena Cross in terms of scaling isn't anywhere near what Supercross is. But it was nice seeing just kind of like how steep jump transitions were and how brutal the whoops are in person as well. Because I can promise you that cameras do not do it justice. I remember going onto the track first thing in the morning, walking around it and being like, oh, there's these whoops, oh, not these whoops, this rhythm section looks really, really challenging. You know, it's all really, really steep. Turns out it was a whoop section. Like, unreal. And then looking at one of the rhythms and seeing, like, the amount of run-up you get is nothing. Like, it's got to be less than distance from one end of my room to the other, from corner to jump. And I'm like, surely you're only going to be able to double out of here. You know, that's no run-up at all. And then we're walking around behind, like, Thomas Doe, and I think Cedric Subaras was there as well. And they're like, yeah, we'll probably step on or step over that. I was like, what? Are you okay? Are you high? What's going on? Ridiculous. It really put in perspective just how talented these guys are. It was a really, really fun time all around. It showed me that I need to get out of my room a bit more because my feet were absolutely killing me being stood on my feet all day long compared to being sat in this lovely, lovely leather chair instead playing MX bikes. But I honestly, I can't thank the guys enough. It was a really, really nice time. It was a pleasure meeting them as well. All very lovely chaps, and yeah, it was just some really enjoyable racing. Met a couple of people as well. First thing in the morning, me and Charlie, we got on the train, went to Wembley, got off. We thought, you know what, before we go to the stadium, let's stop in Mackey's. Let's get a little Mackey's breakfast because we don't know when we'll be able to eat next. What do I hear over my shoulder? I hear someone saying, Linz, turn around. One of the kids that watches the videos. It was really, really cool to meet him as well. Turns out that him and the family watch myself at dinner, so I apologise for any profanity that you might hear my end. I hope that doesn't ruin dinner time by any means. Very, very nice to meet you, sir, and I hope all went well for you riding-wise. We also had one league guys. I think he came second in the 85s. He was absolutely ripping. I believe his name was George Cherry, who was slid in the DMs on Instagram as well to congratulate him after I put a little story out. He was there as well. We had Cedric Subaras's mechanic for the day, also recognised me, and then there was someone else in the stands. Didn't catch his name, but he said hello, so it was very nice to meet all of you guys. And then after that day was said and done, so bearing in mind I'd woken up at about 5 AM to drive to Charlie's, to then get the train to Wembley, to be at the stadium in time to do the track walk, etc. We got home about midnight, so from 5 AM to midnight. It's a fairly long day. And bearing in mind, I only had about 4 hours sleep before that day even started. I then slept on Charlie's living room floor, got 2 hours of sleep, and we was up again. Well, we left again at like 4:30 AM after my two hours of sleep to then drive up to Hawkston. So, very glad I didn't have to drive. Thank you, Charlie, for driving me, because I would have been absolutely finished. I'm pretty sure we would have been in an accident at some point because I was absolutely hanging. And then we spent the day at Hawkston watching all that good stuff, seeing people like Hurlins and Fevra, Coldenhoff, etc. Like, really, really cool time all round. I'd never been to Hawkston, and my inner nerd came out, obviously playing Hawkston in-game before seeing it in real life. I was drawing a lot of comparisons, and it was just fun to see. And I have to say, to JV and to Hell Machine, both people who have also never been to the track in person, they've done an absolutely incredible job in-game in terms of replicating it. It is so spot on. There's literally like the hill, the big uphill and the big downhill are even steeper in person, if you can believe it. It's actually disgusting. I thought, I'm not walking to the top of that. I'm going to stay down here and watch the track from down here. No meetups. Though, to be fair, I was covered from head to toe. It was a very cold day, so I was wrapped up nice and warm. I literally saw Aiden and Jake and their dad, and that was about it. So nice seeing them guys again. And that brings me home. I have woken up today after, I think, about 11 hours worth of sleep, which was desperately needed. And it's nice. It's given me and Charlie both the itch as well. And it's kind of like, okay, I need to go and book a doctor's appointment now to try and get this shoulder sorted out, because I kind of really want to get back on the bike again. And I sat on one of the Suzukis that the AJP boys were running, and they have 450s. I sat on it and I was like, you know what, the cockpit of this bike actually feels pretty damn good. So who knows? There might be a Suzuki in my future. We shall see. But really fun time all around. Right, let's work our way over to the Arena Cross track here. He's actually called this Super Arena Cross, and his reasoning for that is that it's kind of Arena Cross scaling in terms of jump sizes, so the jumps aren't as big as the Supercross tracks would be. However, the actual overall track layout, so the length of lap time, is longer. So Super Arena Cross makes sense to me. And basically my highlight from Arena Cross just went by was, I feel like I've not shouted at a race in many years of people that you're cheering on. However, being under the AJP tent, you kind of you want the guys to do where do I go here? I just go straight. Okay, you want the guys to do well. So Ben Clayton, who is one of the riders, disgustingly talented by the way, like some of the things he was doing was unreal. He ended up going through to the head-to-head. So if you've got no idea how Arena Cross works, once all the heat races and such are done, you kind of have like you have a bunch of 1v1s, a bunch of one-lap head-to-head races where it's almost knockout style, and I think you have to beat about 3 different people before you get like an automatic ride through to the main event, and then everybody else that doesn't make it through goes to an LCQ. Ben was in that, and my god, I was shouting so loud. But the passing in head-to-heads, amazing. Like, best part of the night for me by far. And he managed to get it done. He managed to win all of his head-to-heads against some very fast individuals as well. And the amount of bike control these boys have, just to be able to like stop and turn the bike in an instant to dive underneath, is actually disgusting. So I'll shout my head off there. That was a really good time, and it's definitely a highlight for me. I can only imagine being that good on a bike. It actually blows my mind. And now I feel like we need to have a little bit of discussion about the AMA Supercross, don't we? Monster Energy Supercross. I have never been a massive Faulkner enjoyer. I quite often give Dad Shoes crap when he crashes because it's funny, because he likes him so much. However, I have never felt more sorry for him in my entire life. First of all, that crash was absolutely brutal. Second of all, it came so late in the race. He was so close to getting it done. And it was more the manner that he was doing it in that was really impressive. Like, he was obviously really fast on the night, and I generally think he deserved to win that. Little bit of a freak crash. I've seen some people questioning the safety now stuff, like where he literally just decided to do a cheeky little backbreaker on the concrete on the edge of the track. Actually disgusting. But it sounds like in terms of injuries that he's sustained, they're kind of all stuff that will heal on their own. He hasn't got to have surgery or anything, and he'll probably just be out for a couple of months. And I do feel really bad for him. Like, that, it was, I don't know. It's one of them. It just happens in a split second, doesn't it? You got to take your eye off it for a nanosecond, and the bike's just gone, and you're flying through the air. It's I do feel really bad for him, because watching him in the heat race before and just seeing like the passes that he made to get into the lead in the main event, like, I was actually rooting for him, and I do feel genuinely sorry. And it's one of them things. It's like, is it just getting unlucky over and over again, or is there an element in there of riding over your head? Or I'm not sure what it is. But yeah, it is a shame. It really does suck. Obviously, cool to see Hayden get his first Supercross win. Nice that he's locked that up. But I know a lot of people will be very disappointed for Ross in there. So I hope he recovers quickly, because it's nice seeing multiple people that have a chance of contending for wins. You know, I don't think many people else that night would have been able to be up there. I think it was just between Deegan and Faulkner to get a Dubsky. And I'm hoping this now doesn't just turn into the Deegan show of winning every single round. I like there being good battles and racing competitions, so fingers crossed that McAdoo and people like Hammaker, etc., they can pull their finger out and go pretty damn fast as well. And then for 450s, you know, very interesting race. I would admit, me and Charlie were watching it on the way home from Hawkston, so it was very late. We didn't get to watch like the last 4 minutes, which is when I believe that some of the drama unfolds. So I've not seen what happens with Jet to be able to drop down into P2. But yeah, big Dubsky for Webb, you know, like fast and consistent throughout the entire night. That's what you like to see. And yeah, like 450 racing this year has been so good. I think on any given weekend, you really can't tell who's going to win it straight up. I think it's always a little bit of a toss up and a mix up. Obviously, Charlie was very happy to see Hunter get another top 5. I mean, he was in 3rd place off the start, and Charlie was like, "Come on, my boy, might go, there's a go." So who knows? Maybe he can get up there and finish on the podium before the season's out. That'll be very cool for him as well. And just good racing, no, good riding. Now, I've had just a great weekend all round, boys. I honestly have. Going from the high of winning Arlington on Friday night on the Big Dookie as well. That shout out, repping the banana as always. And going from that to then having a really, really fun Saturday at Arena Cross, to having a very cold and tired but still enjoyable day at the International on Sunday, to now coming back home, getting on bikes again to try and get a little bit of practice in before round 1 of the GPs tonight, which is going to be at Neckan in Argentina. JV has informed me that I probably shouldn't ride the Suzuki for Argentina. I told him that when we was racing on Hawkston, you know, you've got that really, really big uphill at the start of the lap. Me and Cam started at the very, very bottom of that hill, basically side by side. I felt like I had a very good run going up it. He still gaps me by a bike length on the KTM compared to the Suzuki, and I have a feeling that Argentina is going to be very, very fast paced, because JV did say, you know, you might want to ride something else, but I'm going to stay true to the Suzuki. I've seen the GoPro lap. The track does look very, very fast, very wide open, but you know, I've got to repay her back in some way. She done me proud on Friday, so I've got to stick with it and see how it goes. So I hope I can catch all of you tonight for round 1, and I plan on doing both EU and NA. Although what does kind of suck is I don't think I'm ever going to be in championship contention, purely because I'm going to Qatar for the MotoGP in 2 weeks time. So I'm going to miss a Supercross and a GP round in the same weekend, which is a shame, but you don't get many chances in life where you can go and watch like very, 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 very top of a sport in a foreign country for free. It's a reward from the Milan event, so I've got to take it up while I can. So yeah, you won't have me for a single weekend, but you can go and check out any of the other competitors, or even just go and watch the actual like live streams. I believe Cupcake is streaming GPs and Supercross, I think, for EU, and then Sword is streaming GPs, and I think it's Narvo that's streaming Supercross for NA as well. So instead of watching me for one weekend, you can go and check out some of the other boys, and I hope you enjoy it nonetheless. These tracks have been very, very good. I'd say that some of the rhythms on this Arena Cross track are actually hella satisfying. I'm very glad that I got off of the Frankenstein bike, whatever you want to call it. Just the 110 on stilts is actually ridiculous. I'm sure that bike can be very, very fun on tracks that are a little bit more on the flat side. But yeah, just the way that it wants to kick you over the handlebars, it does not thrive in a Supercross setting at all. So I apologise I had to get off of that so early, but I'm glad that I could do this track a little bit of justice. It is very fun, it is very flowy, and it's a job well done. Not to mention, texture-wise, looks very, very pretty. I'm a fan of this, so go and check it out if you guys haven't already, and then go and mess about on the bike on stilts. I'll leave the description. No, I won't. I'll leave the links in the description down below for you, so you can go and check everything out should you want to do so. And that'll do it from me. I hope you have enjoyed. Again, nice meeting all of you over the weekend, and if I go to any like races in the future, I will let you know, and hopefully I'll meet even more of you, because it's always a pleasure. Sorry for being so awkward in person. I get anxious. I don't talk to people well, other than to the camera in my bedroom. So if you like this, please do drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new, all that good stuff. Have a lovely rest of the day, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.
I'm working hard, I'm sacrificing my life, I'm sacrificing my mind, I'm sacrificing my sanity, but most importantly, I'm sacrificing my time. Boy, I feel fine, I feel like I am a king. Honestly, I can't complain, even with faith that's the size of a grain of some salt, I will still move a mountain and do what I want. I got salt to